Hi you guys, I felt like just coming on here today and just chatting with you. Like I felt like putting on a cozy sweatshirt, throwing my hair in a top knot and just like sitting on my bed and just chatting. And I wanted to answer some of your big questions that I get a lot. So I jotted them down. But basically, I think everything I want to talk about is sort of career related, like who I am and what I do. And yeah, I don't blame you guys for wanting to know that stuff. I kind of just haven't really gotten to it before. So let's just dive in. So the first question is just, who am I? Obviously, I'm Charlotte. I'm 31. I live in beautiful Los Angeles with my beautiful hubby and our two beautiful dogs. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia. Grew up in Orlando, Florida. Went to college at Rollins College, which is, the year I went there, it was named the top liberal arts school in the South and also the top Playboy party school of the year. So that tells you a little bit about my education, but it's a fantastic school. It's beautiful. I learned so much. Got my degree in English with a minor in writing. Then I went straight out of college, I moved to Savannah, Georgia to get my master's degree. So I have a Master of Fine Arts degree also in writing. And I got that at the Savannah College of Art and Design. And my top knot is really bobbing. And so that school is called SCAD for short. It's a great school. It's obviously known more for art, but they have a fantastic writing program and I loved going there. And then while I was there, I met my husband, the love of my life. You guys have met him in some other videos. He's so handsome and funny, and I'm going on a weird tangent there, but met him, fell in love, got married, graduated from school, and ultimately he and I went on a big adventure. Okay, this is too, like, that's not gonna work, is it? Maybe that'll hold. Anyway, so he and I 2 years ago decided to go on a grand adventure, and we packed up and moved across the country to Los Angeles, where we live now, and we love it so much. It's so beautiful. The weather's incredible. It's awesome. Okay, so that's kind of a very brief bio. As far as what do I do, which is another question I get, a lot of people ask if I'm like a housewife, which is funny. Not gonna lie, dream career would be stay-at-home dog mom, but that's not quite what I am, but I'm getting there. But I'm a writer and an editor. I'm a freelance, so I work from home. I think that's why people kind of get confused and think I'm a housewife, which is funny. But I've always wanted to be a writer ever since I was a little girl. Like literally before I learned how to read, people would say, "Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And you know, you're supposed to say like an astronaut or whatever. I always said I wanted to be a writer. I think I owe that to my parents. They were amazing. They would read me bedtime stories every night, and I just fell in love with like stories and characters and words from a really early age. I could not wait to learn how to read. I was like bugging my parents every day of like preschool and kindergarten, like, when are they gonna teach me how to read? Like, let's get to it, chop chop, like I got goals. So yeah, it's always been a part of my identity. I've always wanted to be a writer. Like I said, I studied English and writing in college and I got a master's degree in it. So I just knew from a really young age where I was headed with that. Saying you want to be a writer is one of those things where people are like, oh, okay, that's cute, but like, what are you really gonna do? Like, how are you gonna pay the bills? And I always was just like, I'm gonna be a writer. Like, that's just it. And I have found a way to pay the bills as a writer. I personally think you can do that with any creative passion that you might have. You know, like if you want to be an actor, be in commercials at first until you get the kind of dream roles that you want. If you want to be a painter, you can be an illustrator, like a graphic designer illustrator, you know. Anyway, this is again going on a weird tangent, but point is I pay the bills as a writer. I write for magazines, I write for companies, I do marketing, I do websites, I do brochures, I do anything, honestly, anything to do with words. I call myself like a wordsmith. Like if there's words involved, I'll get it done. I love playing with words. I love putting them in different orders and just finding like the perfect way to say something. It's so fun. And I would be doing it in my head 24 hours a day, whether or not I got paid to do it. So it's like, I might as well get paid. If I read like an advertisement on a bus, in my head, I'm like editing it and rewriting it and trying to make it perfect. So why not get paid by companies to perfect their words whenever I can. So that's kind of what I do professionally. Like I said, I can work from home doing that. I have my own business. It's called Milk and Honey Writing Studio. If you're curious, check it out. It's milkandhoneywriting.com. I'd love to work with you if you need any writing or editing. But yeah, I just do all my work freelance through that, and it allows me a lot of freedom, a lot of flexibility, which is so nice. Like you've seen in past vlogs, if my husband has a work trip, I can just go with him and I can write from anywhere. That's what I love. One of the many things I love about being a writer is like, just give me a laptop and a corner and I'm good. Like that's all I need to do what I love doing. Okay, so that's what I do right now. My long-term goal is to write books. Like I want to be a novelist. I just finished writing my first fiction novel this past year. For my grad school thesis, I wrote a memoir about my mom. You know, I've mentioned her a few times. She was a huge, important part of my life. And so I wrote a whole book about her. And I never really pursued publication with that one. It was really, really personal. Obviously, I published it through my thesis program to get my master's degree, but I kind of put it away after that because it's very emotional and raw. It's about losing her. And it honestly took a couple years after that, and I was hemming and hawing about writing a fiction novel, which is what I really wanted to do and have wanted to do since I was little. And finally my husband was like, what's holding you back? Like, why aren't you writing a novel? And I searched my soul, and I was like, honestly, it's because I felt like I had to write the great American novel. You know, like I was an English major. I love reading Fitzgerald and Hemingway and all these fantastic, you know, classic novels. And I was putting like so much pressure on myself. Like I had to write The Great Gatsby or something. And Nate was just like, why don't you just write what you think is fun and just, you know, enjoy it? And it was like such a brainwave for me. He can say the simplest things and it'll just cut straight to my soul. And I'm like, you're a genius. Why didn't I just do that? So needless to say, with his encouragement, I finally just went ahead and wrote my first novel this past year. It was so much fun. It's basically chick lit. It's a story about a girl. I set it in Savannah, Georgia, since that's where I used to live, and I know that town really well. It's a really beautiful, fun place to write about. And yeah, so I'm in the process of seeking like a publisher for that right now, and that's really exciting. I'd love to share it with you guys one day if you're interested. And I already have my next 2 novels like totally mapped out in my head. Like they keep me up at night. I have characters, and I really want to write my next 2 books, but I'm trying to kind of like get some traction with this one. I don't want to wind up with 10 finished novels in a box under my bed, because I just keep writing and I never put the work in to market myself and like get them out there. So I'm trying to force myself to get this novel out there. Honestly, if a publisher doesn't pick it up, I would totally self-publish it. Like self-publishing is awesome. There's some amazing perks to it. So one way or another, it's definitely gonna get out there. I'm definitely gonna be writing more novels. That's a huge passion of mine. The other thing is I'd like to write nonfiction too. Like all the stuff that we talk about, basically, like the beauty stuff, the organization stuff, I would love to write, not like a self-help book, but you know, like a nonfiction book that can guide people on those certain topics that I'm obsessed with and I spend a lot of time thinking about and working on in my own life. So fiction, nonfiction, I want to write it all, and in the meantime I write it all for work, and that's what I do professionally. So I'm glad I finally answered that for you guys. Sorry if I was being cagey about it. But okay, another question I get is like why I'm on YouTube. What are my goals with YouTube? So that's also a very fair question. A lot of you have been here with me since the very, very beginning, and I appreciate that so much. So yeah, what am I doing here on YouTube? I started this channel just to share the stuff I'm interested in and meet people who are interested in it too. And I can say that's been a huge success and so much fun. Like I've already met so many like dear friends through YouTube, and it's so much fun to know that you guys have the same interests as me, and we can like share our little tips and tricks and talk about all the stuff that we love. So that goal for YouTube is like totally check. Like I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying it. So thank you guys again for your support and for sharing with me and being open to all of that. So much fun. As my channel grows, it's kind of, I don't know, it's a good time to stop and like reflect where this is going. And I want to be totally transparent with you guys about where it's going because, you know, you're invested. Like I said, a lot of you have been here from the beginning and you deserve to know what's going to happen here. Like, what's the point of all this? Basically, I'm trying to say, like, I don't expect to make a living off of YouTube. I didn't start YouTube for like fame and fortune and free shit, which I think a certain amount of people do, and that's totally fine. But that's just not ever where I was going with this. So that said, from what I understand, it's really hard to make a decent income off of YouTube. Like, I'll be lucky if the money I generate from YouTube and from ads covers like the giveaways that I do, honestly. Like, I don't know if I'll break even. I'm definitely at a loss so far, and that's fine. But that said, like, it would be nice to sort of justify how much time it takes up, because it is time consuming. As you see, like, I kind of struggle to get 1 video, 2 videos up a week, and I'm like yearning, is that the right word? Yearning at the bit? Why does that sound wrong? I think that's the right, yeah, that's a phrase. Okay, that sounded weird. But I just really like want to be putting more and more videos out for you guys. I wish I could put 3 a week. And in a dream world, I would do 3 videos a week. Like, my dream schedule would be Monday, Organization Mondays, and I would do like a planner video or a house video or some kind of organization video. I would do like fun Wednesdays, and I would do like a vlog or some kind of personal chit-chatty video. And then I would do beauty Fridays, and I would do like a makeup or a skincare or some other just girly stuff that I love. Wouldn't that be so nice, you guys? I feel like that'd be a dream scenario, and it would cover all my topics that I like to talk about with you. But that said, it's a big commitment, time commitment. It's hard to foresee being able to do 3 videos a week unless it ever got to a point where I could afford to take on like fewer writing clients, and like supplement, you know, less work hours on writing and more work hours on YouTube, basically. But that said, I don't see that happening because, like I said, it's hard to make a living straight off of YouTube. From what I understand, most people do it like more so through sponsorships and working with other companies. And I guess I kind of wanted to put this out there now and just be honest with you about it and say I'm not going to be doing that. Like, I've had a couple companies approach me already, and I've very politely declined because I'm just not interested in having sponsorships at all. Not to say anything bad at all about other YouTubers who do. So many of my favorite beloved YouTubers do, and I totally respect that. I get it. Like, you got to pay the bills, basically. Plus, who wouldn't want, you know, if it's a brand you already know and love, who wouldn't want to work with them and get free stuff from them? I get it. But I guess who wouldn't want me? I wouldn't want. I just want you guys to be able to trust me 100%. I want you to know everything I recommend is just that I'm a real girl sitting on her bed talking to you about stuff I really like. Not because somebody told me to talk about it, not because I just opened it up in the mail and it was free, not because anything. And again, I'm not saying anything bad about people who do work with other companies and do sponsorships. I'm just saying for myself personally, that's just not my goal. It's not where I'm going with this. Like, for one thing, that'd just be a lot of clutter to be getting all that free stuff all the time. Like, you know, I live in a studio apartment. Like, I'm way too organized to be handling constant clutter coming in the mail. And then I also feel like it would almost be like emotional clutter. Like, I'm the type that would feel, I don't want to say it'd be an emotional roller coaster, but I imagine that there's like, you feel indebted because you got this thing for free. You feel obligated to talk about it. You feel obligated to like it. You feel obligated to share it. If you don't like the product and you don't talk about it, you feel bad. I don't know. I just don't want to open that whole can of worms. And like I said, I really want you guys to be able to trust me and just know I'm just sharing my real life experience. And I know that a lot of people who do take sponsorships only work with brands they truly, truly love, and they only talk about stuff they really, really love. And I get that and I respect that. But for me, I just feel like, yes, you might really, really love that $80 lotion, but unless you took your own cold hard $80 cash out of your wallet to pay for it, I don't take your recommendation as seriously. And again, I'm not saying anything bad, but like when I'm on Instagram and I'm seeing influencers like open up all their free packages and talk about it, I just skip right through it because the only kind of recommendations I'm interested in getting and the only kind I'm interested in giving to you guys are just 100% genuine, not influenced by any outside financial influences, I guess. So that said, it's kind of long-winded, but that's sort of my, like, where I'm at with this YouTube channel. Like, I don't plan on accepting sponsorships. I don't plan on making money off of it, basically. So just putting that out there. And again, in the spirit of like total transparency, honestly, like the only thing I would be looking to gain like monetary from this channel is if, you know, I have enough of a viewership to get a publisher interested in like publishing my books, which wouldn't cost you guys a penny, and it wouldn't require me to like make any sort of sacrifices as far as what I'm comfortable sharing and not sharing with you. So that said, that's my long-term goal. And I feel like I was about to say something else about that. What was it? Yeah, the only like ulterior motive I would possibly have with this channel is to get a publisher's interest. So, you know, the more of a built-in viewership I have, the more a publisher might be like, okay, we can take a risk on publishing her books. So, like I said, total transparency, just so you guys know, that's the only thing I would want from this. I've always made my living off of writing, and I don't plan to change that. Like, as I said, it's a huge passion of mine. It's what I love doing, and so I don't see any reason for that to change just because I started a YouTube channel. So that said, now you guys know, full disclosure, where I'm at. Just know that you can always come to this channel and I'm going to be speaking directly from my heart and just sharing directly things I found for myself and things I liked and wanted to talk about for no other reason that I'm a girl sharing with other girls or guys. So that's kind of the YouTube sitch. Like I said, I'd love to work up to 3 videos a week, but I'm going to really at least try to do 2 a week for now, and kind of alternate between all those topics that I love to share with you guys. And then one other like really long-term goal career-wise that I wanted to put out there is I would really love to do some life coaching. I've worked with some amazing coaches in my life and I've benefited so much from that process. And I also feel like I've just learned from like brutal trial and error throughout my life. And I just have a lot I would like to share. I definitely want to share it through writing and through these videos, but I also feel like it'd be so rewarding to work one-on-one with some girls. I have like a whole coaching program in my head. Like, I don't sleep at night, guys. I lie awake in bed thinking about the books I want to write, the YouTube videos I want to film, and this whole coaching program that I really want to, like, ideally within the next year, start. And basically there's 3 main topics that I want to cover. Come to think of it, it's basically like the topics I cover on this channel, like organization, health, and beauty. And I feel like those are the top 3 New Year's resolutions that everybody makes each year. It's like, I want to lose weight and get healthy. I want to look better and feel beautiful. And I want to like get organized and have my life under control. So I just want to address those like 3 biggest goals that everybody's always struggling with. I mean, I know I've struggled with them and I still do. We all do. We're all human. And I just would love to kind of break it down into a coaching program and spend maybe like a month on each section and really help people get some systems in place for their life to run smoothly, for them to take excellent care of themselves, to feel beautiful inside and out, and to feel organized and calm and like they can handle anything life throws at them. Like, that would be my hope for all of you guys, and that would be something I'd love to share through coaching one day. So that's sort of a peripheral life and career goal that I have that I just thought I'd open up about, because you guys are always asking what I do and what I want to do and where I come from and where I'm going. So I think that kind of covers it, I hope. Let me see if I answered everything. If you have any other questions or anything I didn't touch on, just leave a comment down below or hit me up on Instagram. Always happy to connect with you guys. If you're new or if you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do. Please support my channel and I'll let you know where it's going and what the goal is with all of this. And yeah, you guys are the reason I do this, connecting with you and sharing the stuff that we talk about. That's why I'm here, and I hope to continue for a long time, as long as you'll have me. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.